Hello, everyone. Okay, I don't know whether you guys have been following the whole news about the EFCC official that was killed, that was shot by a doctor. They had gone into his house at early hours, either early hours of the morning, whether 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. within those time. You know, breaking into his house, and then he shot them. I think one has died, one died, and so there've been a lot of just whole a lot going on in that whole this thing. Last year, EFCC had put out a circular that they were not going to do any more night raids. Asked their and even put out a statement, asked their people not to do it again. Honestly, it's so tragic that this has happened. And I remember there was even a tweet that someone did. That was in 2021 when he said, until these people will go to a house and then somebody with a license gun will shoot them and kill one, they will not know to stop all of these things. And some of these raids that happen, you begin to wonder, is it really from the office, or do these officers just on their own do these raids? At the end of the day, when they get in there, they're going to get some of them, maybe they're going to get bribed. We've seen situations where they've stolen, they've packed things in the house. There's even a particular video where a young lady, they just broke into the house, started beating her. It was in a bedroom, and she had CCTV in that particular. She had CCTV in her bedroom. Beat her up. Some of them led her out, and then one that was behind was picked up some things that were there. The AFCC has also been accused of going to places. There was one where they even said they stole hair, this human hair, and all of that. This thing is it's a failure of so many things on so many fronts, right? You're looking at it, and the thing is that you first of all you'll be wondering, dude, is there a particular guidebook on how EFCC officials or police or whatever engage with citizens, even when they want to arrest them? What is it? Were they shouting, "Oh, we are EFCC, we are coming in," or open the door? Why are you even doing this raid at the middle of the night? Why? It's Financial Crimes Commission. You can get these people. Follow the money, follow the trail. When they are coming out, quietly stand there and arrest the person. Why are you going in the middle of the night, breaking into people's houses, doing all sorts? Why? Why is that? Just to show power? Just to show. Meanwhile, the real people who are looting this country dry, they're all over the place. Nothing. Nobody is going to them. Nobody is even harassing them. Even when they bring evidence to EFCC and say EFCC do something, EFCC will be looking at another petition. I remember Deji Adeyanju doing a petition after 2019 to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this thing, what was it, that bullion vans were taken to him, and there was accusation that those money were used to buy votes. EFCC refused to collect the petition. But it's to keep following people that you saw a house and then you saw certain cars that you believe the person is doing Yahoo or whatever. Nobody is doubting anything. It can be or it might not be. Nobody is saying you shouldn't do your work. But you should do it in a way that makes sense, not in the way of intimidation, not in the way of harassment. Even if you are going to arrest a criminal, that criminal still has rights. How do you break it? Do they even understand the psychological effect, the emotional trauma that people go through? How do you just break into a house like that, bang, 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 breaking? How? Why is it that we never get to do things the way they're supposed to be done? But anyway, so EFCC, they put out, because it's been the topic of conversation in Nigeria. A lot of people, of course, are not condemning EFCC and the acts they've done, and then the tragedy of it. Yes, it's painful. It's a human being has lost his life now, and then people, of course, people still have to talk about the fact that what they did is wrong. We've been saying this thing for a very long time. Why do you keep doing this? Why do you go in the middle of the night and start breaking into people's houses as if you are armed robbers? Why? So EFCC had this statement. See, EFCC condemns false narratives on loss of officer. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, expresses grief on the loss of one of its officers, Assistant Superintendent of the EFCC, ACE 2, Aminu Sahabi Salisu, who was killed in cold blood while on legitimate duty on January 17, 2025 by a suspected internet fraudster Joshua Chukwubueze Ikechukwu. So, okay, so now we know he was on a legitimate duty. It's EFCC that sent him. It's not the same EFCC that said that they will stop night raids. They had a statement that they put out on that. That was, I think, that was last year, 2024, either 2023 or 2024. Additionally, the Commission views with great concern the irresponsible, callous, inhuman, and outrageous narratives being circulated on social media on the whys and wherefores of the fatal accident. It is heinous to reduce the death of a gallant officer who was carrying out patriotic and official duties to social media razzmatazz. It's not razzmatazz. Yes, some people, I mean, people feel pain. Do these people understand this breaking in that you do into people's heart? People carry pains in their heart. I saw another tweet where someone has said that, is it in 2021, that this particular officer, who unfortunately has lost his life, was part of those who came into his house in the middle of the night the same way to raid the house. The people are carrying trauma. People are angry because so many of the people have gone through the pain that you are not feeling has been inflicted. People have been killed. People have died by your men. It's the same way they want you also to feel the pain. We must always feel the pain of anyone. We mustn't justify it. When you kill, you justify it and say, oh, the person is this, is that. That's why empathy is slowly going out because of the situation we find ourselves in. More worrisome is the fact that some faceless commentators are pitching their tents with an alleged criminal who unleashed terror on officers of the EFCC in their line of duty. There is no justification whatsoever to rationalize a murderous act. There's no justification to rationalize murder. But there's something called self-defense. If you're barging into someone, you've not sent in a warrant, you've not invited the person, in the middle of the night, you barge in as an armed robber, the person is going to defend himself, especially if the person has a licensed weapon. If the weapon is not licensed, that's a entirely different thing. So, the make of human kindness demands that a grieving family, commission, and nation should be spared the shenanigans of false narratives and conjectures on the death of the slain officer. But the thing is that when EFCC kills citizens, they put out their statement and put their narrative. You don't realize that those citizens that you kill also belong to families. They have blood. That this milk we have should flow around everywhere. It should. Salisu, alongside other investigators of the EFCC, were at Dr. J.O. Okutinife Close, Ifite Oka, Anambra State, to arrest some suspected internet fraudsters in the early hours of January 17. The operation was duly documented at the Anambra State Command Headquarters and the Area Command of the Nigerian Police in line with operational protocols. The operation was initially smooth sailing with 37 suspected internet fraudsters already arrested at a two-story building housing Ikechukwu and other occupants of the house. Two-story building had 30-something internet fraudsters. However, Ikechukwu, who cited the investigators through the CCTV camera mounted at his doorspot, and who also confessed citing them, declined to open his door for the investigators, who politely demanded entrance to his apartment. Politely demanded. Defying all the introduction and physical sighting of the investigators, he resorted to firing shots at them and killed Salisu in the process and wounded another officer detailed to conduct a search in his apartment. Preliminary investigations show that Ikechukwu was involved in coding and online medical supplies of doubtful legitimacy. 2 laptops, iPads, several recording devices were recovered from his apartment, and his involvement in internet fraud is already established. Though currently in police custody owing to the murderous dimension of his case, the commission will surely bring him to trial. The EFCC also wishes to alert the public that the activities of internet fraudsters are becoming potently hazardous to public safety and security. Intelligence has shown that these criminals are carrying arms, involved kidnapping, banditry, ritual killings, and other deadly acts. The public should not fold its hand to allow itself to be deceived that they are mere Yahoo boys and girls. As for the EFCC, every subsequent attack on any of its officers will be met with the force of the law. The Commission will not fold its hands and allow any of its officers to be killed again in cold blood. As a law enforcement agency of repute, the EFCC is unrelenting in ridding the nation of internet fraud and other acts of corruption, while mourning the loss of its officer who paid the supreme price in the service of the nation. The Commission appreciates the invaluable support, condolences, and prompt response of sister agencies and well-meaning individuals standing shoulder to shoulder with it at this trying time. Dele Oyewale, Head Media Publicity, and this was January 19, 2025. It was put out yesterday. And so Barrister Inibehe had this to say. He said, this statement is lacking in substance and full of trivial things. It has not stated in clear terms what the doctor did. It has not discussed the basis of raiding his house and the hour of the day that the raid took place. The insinuation that the doctor is into internet fraud simply because of his business of coding and selling or marketing of medical supplies makes a ridicule of the agency. This statement supports the theory that the doctor may not have been originally the target of the operation. The Commission seems to be saying that they raided a two-story building which the doctor happens to live in, and in the process they decided to also target him. 37 internet fraudsters in a two-story building. How many flats does this building have? Are the alleged fraudsters living in groups, or were they having some sort of meeting? This statement is a disservice to the dead officer. You claim that he saw your operatives on CCTV and still opened fire on them after they politely demanded, in quotes, that he should open his door. Why not put out the evidence for the public to see, given the gravity of the matter? It is good to know operatives of the EFCC now demand politely for opening of doors when they go on raids. Congratulations. Was the CCTV colored or black and white? The officers who appeared on the camera, did they wear their uniforms? The fact that it took this long to issue this statement says a lot about the credibility of the statement. What do you think about this all? That officer, may his soul rest in peace. And may God give his families the fortitude to bear the loss.